Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Snowglobe here and welcome back to another video. So in this one we're going to take a look at some more story fights from my secondary account, and we're going to open up with the fight of Batman the Drowned plus Harley Quinn plus John Stewart Green Lantern. And you might be like, this is a weird setup we got here, Snowglobe. Well, there's a point to this. So Harley is going to be able to boost the damage against stun targets, and when you try to usually use this, like for example I tried to do this a long time ago by using a Black Manta. There's special to basically have Harley in the team and Manta would get boosted by that. The boost was nothing. But for some reason the synergy between this and the Batman the Drowned dot values is going to be insane, and I did not discover the strategy. I think Devil the Rello did it first, and I'm going to cover the full extent and the full potential of the strategy and give him a shout out in the separate video, basically dedicated to that. But yeah, this fight is not necessarily the focus of the video, but it's definitely something that's interesting and maybe worth trying. This is not the ideal setup, because ideally you don't want to have John Stewart Green Lantern here, but Arkham Knight Batman, because from Arkham Knight Batman you're going to still get the dot damage boost, but he's going to be able to set you up with far longer duration stuns than Harley is able to set me up. I'm simply using this, let's say, more budget version of this team, because I do not have Arkham Knight Batman on this account. And yeah, we just try to get to and yeah, I played this particularly badly, so sorry for that. That's another reason why this fight is not gonna be in the thumbnail or the title. I'm gonna do it justice when I cover this properly. But this team is going to be good enough. Problem also is, this is kind of counterproductive to an extent for me on the secondary account, because I only have one gear. So when I stun the enemy, we're going to get increased damage, but we're not gonna get crits until I tag in Batwoman the Drowns for her to be on the Dark Malcards area. So we're going to crit very rarely, but boy, the damage increase is absolutely insane. Like, watch this, the non-crit value is 1.3. and it's gonna get to 2.9, and the crit value is gonna be 8.2. This is absolutely insane damage increase. Not sure this is worth it in other soul rates. I mean, it depends on your Batman the Drowned, and it depends on your soul rate artifact levels. I'm running here a 4-star Batman the Drowned with a level 8 powder box, but you don't need a level 8 soul rate artifact to get this damage. You're gonna get it so much sooner in other soul rates, because you can use Dark Malcards on herself and have the soul rate artifacts passively buff you. So this is gonna do so much better in other soul rates, and using this strategy is going to basically take out Harley out of your teams that are available to use, and it's really not gonna be optimal in that regard. So I'm not sure if this is worth using. Maybe for the people who don't have the gears for Harley and are not using her as actively as a damage dealer, can try to set this up. So you need her at high level if you are going to use her stun to set it up. But yeah, huge damage increase there. Over here we're going to use the Joker Raven League of Anarchy. This team is going to do well enough usually, but it's not really that worth using, because Harley's gonna do just so much better of a job at it, and in most cases even gonna do a better job if the enemy is stun immune, because you just normally hit them and combo and chop them. Because Joker's passive takes kind of a lot to activate, and in our soul rates, for me to put Nora Snowglobe on EPI and let her die and let her get 2 clones summoned and each of the clones dying, this way having the Joker passive at 2 stacks would not be ideal, because I would lose an artifact slot that could give me passive bonuses for the entire team. But since the bonuses don't split in Dawn of Apocalypse, over here it's gonna be the more optimal thing to do. So we're going to get 2 clones here dying. There we go, EPI needs to be alive. If she dies, that's bad. Well, Joker's got 2 passive stacks. We're going to get also super move in there. And now we're going to start stacking Darkness. Block that. Boy, Black Canary is a bit annoying, not gonna lie. Though you could perfectly play against her, which I did not here. I definitely did not, but you could perfectly play against her and combo and chop her for most of the fight, and I will get into that. But I struggled a lot more than I should have. By the way, Dark Malcards on Raven, so that when she tags and she leaves that guaranteed crit area, it's not gonna be up for the entirety of the tagging of Joker when that happens, but it's gonna be something sometimes. She's got super available, she's getting nuked. She's getting absolutely destroyed, 36 mil on the swipe attacks. Like, this is yet again another situation where the bonuses just scale so well on top of each other. We got damage boost from the passive, we got damage boost from the super move, which work 2 times, by the way, once for the normal damage on basic attack hits and then for the dots damage, which is going to by default get increased by the damage on basic attack hits in the first place. And then we have the Raven stacks to top everything up, yet again double scaling on both basic attack hits and then further scaling on dots. The Joker League of Anarchy with Raven is absolutely insane with Nora Snowglobe. But yeah, moving on to the next fight, we're going to have here boss Blue Beetle, and I'm going to speed up a few fights. They're not going to be that interesting, but it's simply going to show you how you're going to do cleanup from a free-to-play, more or less, accounts, if you don't have anything crazy at your disposal, and especially in Dawn of Apocalypse, because this all rate at high heroics becomes such a slog, because yet again, the artifact bonuses don't split mostly. But yeah, we have a full health man over here, and we're going to do a cleanup. I should not have fought him. I should not have used this team and percentage hull damage against Blue Beetle, because not all the bosses have a damage cap, but he has, which means that the amount of damage that he's able to do to take is going to be capped at a certain point. Now, Zatanna's percentage hull damage is just going to keep proccing until she gets that amount that her passive can do. But Implant Sakoman will not be able to do that, because all he's gonna get is percentage hull damage on the first 3 specials. So that's gotta be just as much as the damage cap allows us. But yeah, the first clone in there, Camera Interrupting. And yeah, this is not gonna have time for much for the other clones. It's just gonna be a 1 clone thing. And yet again, the damage on this would look so much better if I just picked another boss, but definitely my bet on this one. In terms of picking the boss, I don't think I played this fight too badly. Next up, we're going to have a quick Batman Ninja fight. Firebox on Batman Ninja Catman will do fine. Will do well enough. Not better than Dark Metal cards if we had passive bonuses, and not better than Zatanna's Puppet, but since we don't, they're gonna be better than Zatanna's Puppet or Dark Metal cards for Dawn of Apocalypse specifically, but as soon as I'm moving to another Soul Raid, goodbye Firebox. But she's gonna get some decent damage on swipe attacks, because she's gonna get increased damage on them from the firebox, and if that swipe attack in the first place hits a crit and a lethal, you're gonna see some big numbers over there. Third special in there, Combo Interrupt his ass, Combo Interrupt again, special 2. I think at some point we need a 1 mil on swipe attack, which is definitely nice, but not the best thing in the world overall. Because we don't need just our damage on swipes to be high, we need our overall damage to be high. Which Firebox is somewhat providing with the passive stats that it gives Catwoman. Our third special in there, just basically doing 2 combos into a third special and keeping that second special up so that we get that lethal attack damage stacked by the constant dot value. Again, you're never gonna do the special 2, I mean it's gonna deal some damage, it's bound to deal some damage, but you're not using the special 2 with Catwoman for the direct damage it does, and you're not doing it for the healing in Soul Raids, you're doing it for the constant lethal attack damage stacking that it gives you, because it keeps proccing that good Robin passive, which is basically the reason you deal damage in the first place. Another team that's gonna do well enough with the Firebox is gonna be the Just League team, because they already have very high damage on their basic attack hits, and the swipe attacks are going to absolutely slap. It's basically 140 something. Let's get to Super Move first of all, because that's going to tremendously increase the damage. I tagged Cyborg in there for me to have Super Move before he does, and I rushed the Super Move. I should have waited a bit more so I could bait his Super Move. Why I like to do the Super Move at the same time with the enemy, and by the way, you can use your own Super Move, and if the enemy has enough energy for the Super Move, you still have time to tag out, so that's no problem. Why I like to do that is that when a Super Move is done, you're gonna get reset to the middle of the field. And that's not where you wanna be. You wanna be in the corner, because that's where you can pretty much abuse the enemy and just keep combo interrupting them. And by doing the Super Move at the same time with them, you're going to basically not have to push him to the corner 2 times. That's basically the reasoning behind the strategy. And this will do well enough, like on swipes to deal 156k damage. When it's a fast attack hit, it's gonna be all the way to 600k damage. And I'm moving to gameplay that has 3 hits into 2 swipes to try and maximize the Firebox swipe damage. But yeah, all that being said, thanks so much for watching. Like the video if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it, subscribe for more content like this, and I'll hopefully see you all in the next one. Goodbye!